Hi YouTube! Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be going over to the office and actually printing out the November birth flower print. I have that already ready to go, and again it's going to be kind of trial and error a little bit with making sure that the colors are all adjusted to be the way that I'm wanting them to come out. And I'm excited to see how it ends up printing out on that printer, because again, I did print a test print over here to kind of just see sizing and the layout of where the flower falls within the print. But I know that the colors look a lot different on my printer in the office, so I'm hoping to go over there and get it all ready for printing out to sell. November only has one birth flower as opposed to all the other months having multiples. So we're just going to be printing out one today, and we'll see how that goes. And I don't know, I guess I'll tell you a little bit again about my thought process, how I chose colors and stuff, doing my research, and we will see how many adjustments I have to make for this November flower. But let us go ahead and head on over to the office. Alright, I've made my way over to the office and I've already pulled up my newest print on my laptop. So I am going to flip you guys around and show you my November birth flower print. And here it is. This is a chrysanthemum flower. We actually already have a sticker of a chrysanthemum up on the shop. It is a different color though. It's more of a maroon color. Let me see if I can actually show you guys. I think it's back here. Yes, here we go. This is my chrysanthemum sticker that I made for the fall last year, and then I ended up using the same bloom as my sticker, but I made it in a different color, and I also, oops, it's falling, and I also removed the leaves from that one and then made a stem for it, and this is how it looks. I actually went for more of a yellow chrysanthemum here, and it is on more of a maroon background, because I actually did that because in my research I am doing the birth flowers on backgrounds that are the birth, like the birth color for the month. As you guys would have seen in my other videos, doing the October one, I had the marigold and, oh, I already forgot what was the other flower. I can't remember. But I had both of those on two different colors. Oh, cosmos flowers. Cosmos and marigolds. And I did the background colors for those as the color for the month of October, and it had multiple colors for it. And November actually has multiple colors for it as well, but its colors end up being maroon and yellow. And I didn't want to do my my maroon chrysanthemum that I already had designed on a yellow background because that just didn't look quite right. And also the shade of maroon that my chrysanthemum is a little bit different than the actual color that is for November. November, the kind of maroonish color that this background is actually, I think it's called claret. It's based off of a type of wine, actually, that has the same name. And the wine itself is not this color, so I don't know why this color has that name. But it's a red wine, but it's a little more of like a brown kind of rust maroon, whereas the color swatch is more of this kind of more pink skewed maroon, I guess you could say. So that's a little weird to me. I'm like, why is it the same name based off of the wine, but then it's not the right color? Don't know. But then the other color of November is citron, which actually is a yellow, and it is a gemstone as well. And the gemstone itself, as you might be able to imagine, is yellow. So I, in my research, looked up what's the most common color for chrysanthemums, and the most common color for chrysanthemums is yellow and white. And so I was like, oh, that's perfect. I'll do a yellow chrysanthemum on the claret maroon background because that would stand out a lot better, is what my thinking was. And this is how it turned out. And I think that that looks really nice. I really like it because the way that I do the background, the little kind of silhouette that it's in, the oval, it makes it feel kind of antique in a way. And then like the color palette of it also makes it feel kind of antique. And so I'm really feeling this one. And I'm hoping that it translates good as a print. I have not really done anything with this to try and get it ready for printing. I want to just print it out as is, and we will go from there to see what I need to adjust, because as we know, whenever I printed out the other ones, I needed to go back into the Photoshop file and manually adjust some things to be able to use the cardstock printing setting on my printer over here to get the colors to look exactly how I wanted them to, and to get all the detailing to show up better. So I guess without further ado, enough talking and explaining of my design. I am going to tell it that I want to print, and I'm going to tell it that I'm using cardstock. I'm printing them as 8x10s, and I think I'm going to just go ahead and tell it to print that. Everything else is good. I need to come and get out some paper. I already had a little stack from last time where we didn't use up all of the paper I had gotten out for printing. Let me put that right there. And then it should pop up back over here, and I will tell it to confirm the printing, but I will come back to you guys to take a look at how this first translates onto paper, and then we will go from there and see what adjustments need to be made. So I'm waiting for that little pop-up. It might take a second because I just put in a piece of paper, but then I will be back momentarily. Our very first go at the chrysanthemum just came out, and I've already hung it up for us to take a look at, and I'm curious what you guys think, but I definitely think that there is some adjusting to do, but actually the yellow came out like really vibrant for what I was thinking it would come out as, so we'll see. I'll just go ahead and flip you guys around and you can see what our very first chrysanthemum looks like. So let me flip you. Here you go. This is our very first chrysanthemum print, and I feel like the chrysanthemum itself, the flower needs to be lighter. It's very bright yellow, the actual petals, and I'm okay with that, but I feel like it's getting a little bit lost in the background. Not really, because it's so contrasting, but the outline of the chrysanthemum's a little too dark, and yellow chrysanthemums are also a lot lighter in general, whereas this, the yellow on it and the outline on it, it's making me feel a little more sunflower-like, I guess. It's just a little too, like, especially in the center here where there's so much outlining happening, it just ends up being too dark. I do like, though, the color of the background. I think it's very nice. I want the subtle gradient that I have going from the center outward to be a little less subtle and a little more noticeable. I like having the center of it be slightly lighter than the surrounding area to bring in a little bit more focus to the center and the flower. You can kind of see that it's doing that, but it's just not quite enough for me. And whenever I stand far away, I can't really see my speckles that I have in the background. So I need to do some adjusting on all of that. But actually, for the stem and the leaves on the stem, I really like how they look. I think that those are perfect. I think that that came out exactly how I wanted that to come out. I might adjust the dots around the border to be a little bit lighter, maybe, but so far, solid start. I know I listed off a couple things to adjust, but I mean, I'm not like mad at it. I think that once it is tweaked to be how I'm seeing it, it's gonna look really good. I think it already looks fine the way it is. It looks good the way it is, but I feel like once we have it right, it's gonna be a really nice print. So I am going to go and do some adjusting and come back to you guys with those adjustments, and we'll see if I overcorrected anything or if there needs to be some further adjustments to be made. But this is how our first one looks. And I will be back to you guys with the second one, and we'll do a comparison after I get those adjustments done. So again, it will be a second for you and just a couple minutes for me. So I will be right back. Okay, as you can see, I have already put up our second attempt at the chrysanthemum. I did go ahead and do those adjustments that I talked about, lightening the flower itself, messing around with the gradient in the middle and the speckles, as well as changing the hue or the tone of the dots a little bit to be a little bit lighter. I don't know why, but whenever I adjusted the highlight gradient in the background on this one, it kind of made the speckles do something weird where I don't know if you can really see it or not, but those ones in the middle came out blue. So I don't really know why that is. I'm gonna have to mess around with that a little bit more. But I think I still need to go lighter with the chrysanthemum itself and try to figure that out. Cause yeah, it's still, I mean, the outline for it is a lot better now, but it's still just a little too bright, I guess. And it might end up being one of those deals where I, again, need to brighten up the whole piece itself. Which one did I do that with? The marigold, I ended up having to just brighten the whole piece overall. And it might end up being the case here as well. But I'm gonna do some more adjusting on these guys and see where I get with that. But I wanted to show you what the second one came out looking like compared to the first one. I definitely think it's an improvement, but the speckles are still a little bit too hard to see, and they're doing something a little bit weird with my gradient. I need to redo that gradient. I don't really like it. It kind of shifted a little orange, and yeah, I don't like that. So I need to do that, and I'll try to lighten up the flower a little bit more. I still think that the stem looks really good though with the leaves. I'm quite happy with how those are coming out. So I will not be touching that until, or if we decide to brighten up the whole piece. Obviously then it will be a little bit brighter, but those are my thoughts on our second attempt. Let me know what you guys think. I won't be able to know until after the fact, but I always would like to hear you guys's thoughts and ideas on things. But let me go do some more adjusting, and then we will see how the third attempt looks. So let me go back into the Photoshop file and do some more editing. Okay, our third chrysanthemum just finished printing out, and I want to see what it looks like next to our second attempt. So let me move our things around so we can see how it is looking. Let me put it up here like so. Put that like that. Okay, let me step back so I can look. Ooh. I think we're pretty close to what I was thinking. Let me flip you guys around so you can see what it's looking like. But I think it's starting to look good. I don't know if this is the final version yet or not, but we're getting close now. I feel it. So let me flip you around so you can see what it is that I'm seeing. Okay, so new one on the left, our second attempt on the right. And I don't know how you guys are feeling, but I think it is getting closer to what I want it to look like. You can see the speckles a lot better now. I think the speckles are just enough. I wouldn't go any more with that. I think maybe I would make the dots a little bit darker. I don't want to make them too much darker, but they look a little samey with that one, that second outline, and I don't want them to necessarily be the same color. You can see that on our second attempt, the chrysanthemum petals, the way that I tried to brighten it up, they ended up skewing more orange than the yellow that they were originally. So that has been fixed. I don't know, guys, it's close. I'm liking it. You can see it definitely is brighter than the first one. Oh no, I got it. Oh my god, nah. I got it stuck under that one. Okay, well, we'll just pin that one up then. You can see that it is definitely brighter than the first one. That's a lot better now that I'm looking at it side by side. Yeah, I like that a lot more than the first one. Yeah, I like it. I'm going to sit on it for a moment and see how I feel with it, but I think that might be third time's a charm. This is the final one? I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that looks good? Or do you think I should do a little more adjusting? Again, I might make the dots just a little bit darker, but I don't really feel like that's something that I need to necessarily do and then print a whole new thing just for that small adjustment. If I'm adjusting anything else on the piece as well, then I will print out another one. But that might be it. Let me think about it, and I'll come back to you guys with what I decided. This could be the final one, and we will take our look at our final, or I might decide that I want to mess with it just a little bit more. But we're definitely very close. I like that a lot. But I will be back to you guys whenever I have made up my mind. So I will be right back to you with my thoughts. All right, after thinking about it and staring at it and then walking away for a little bit and then coming back and looking at it again and comparing it with the first two that I did, I think that this is the final version of our chrysanthemum. I am very happy with how it came out. It's, like I said, it feels kind of antique with the colors that it is, but I like that about it because it also, the colors of November, it makes it feel like fall, which November is a fall month, so I feel like it looks and feels right, if that makes sense. It feels like a November birth month piece to me. So I'm happy with how it came out. I hope that you guys are happy with how it came out too. I hope that you guys didn't see anything that you think needs to be changed on it, but I think that this is it. I think that this is the final one. So let me give you guys the final look at it, and then I will tell you in our outro what to expect next. But let me flip you around and give you our final look. So here is our chrysanthemum print for November. I'm doing this before November gets here so that I can get it up on the shop and hopefully give people some time to actually purchase it before November if they want or need it. But here it is. Here's a little bit of a closer look at it. The speckles right in the middle still shifted a little bit blue, but not a whole lot. They're still in the pink family, or, you know, I guess the speckles are more pink, but they're still in the right family. They didn't shift all the way over to blue, so I think I'm okay with them being just a little different like that. But that is our final one. Here's a look at where we came from to get there. Here's our first one, and you can tell you really can't see the speckles at all on this cardstock paper, and you can see the flower's just way too dark. Over here on this one, you can see the gradient a lot better in the middle, but you see like these spots in the center are like really blue. I don't know if it actually comes up on camera very well, but they're like really blue. And then our flower shifted a little more orange, which made it look more kind of like a daffodil color, which was not what I was going for. And I don't know, something about it, I was like, this is not the final one. But then we printed out our third one, and it feels right. And sometimes you just need to feel if something is right or not. And I think that this is right. I think that this is how this print should look. So we are done with this, and I'm very happy with how many attempts it took to get it adjusted exactly the way that I wanted it to be. It only took 3. Third time's the charm, as I already said. But sometimes that really is the case. And that also means I don't waste as much of my cardstock paper or my ink. But yes, this is our final one. I'm very happy with how it came out. And now, let me go ahead and jump over to the outro and give you guys a little sneak peek at what I am planning for our next video to be about. So let me catch you guys in our outro corner. Okay, YouTube, this is gonna be the end of the video. I hope that you guys liked how my chrysanthemum came out this video. I think that it looks really good. I'm hoping to start putting out the prints for each month in the month leading up to the one that I'm making the print for. So like how this one, which is the one for November, I'm putting up on the shop in October, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to continue to do that. So like putting December's up in November at some time to give people the opportunity to get it maybe before the month even starts, or just to give more time to people if they are wanting to get it in for a specific thing like a birthday. They'll have time to do so leading up to it, whichever day it ends up being for that month. But I think that I'll be able to do that. And November only had one, so I'm thinking that this video is going to be a little bit shorter. I'll continue to do each flower group together. So all the flowers for December I'll do in one video, January one video, February, so on and so on until we get all 12 of our months done. February is actually the one that ends up having 3 flowers. I don't know why it has 3, all the others have 2, and then November ends up only having 1. I think in my last video I was saying it was June that had 3 because I couldn't remember and I wasn't checking, but I did look it up and it is February has 3. So if your birthday's in February, you get more options to choose from, and if your birthday's in November, I'm sorry, you only get 1 flower. You don't get to choose between 2 or 3. I don't know how that was decided, but there you go. In the next video though, I'm going to be shifting back over to my stickers, and I will be doing actually my boas. I have 4 boa stickers that I have already designed and gotten ready to be printed out, and I'm going to be putting them all out at the same time. So if you like boas, then hopefully you'll like how these stickers for them came out. And I did the 4 most popular boas, but obviously there's more than 4, so if it ends up being that I missed one that was your favorite, I'm sorry, but I will be continuing on my stickers in the future, so I'm sure that I will be designing more. It's just I already have all 4. Hopefully you can't hear the sirens. I don't know if you can or not. Something crazy is happening apparently on the road with a lot of emergency sirens, so hopefully you can't hear that. But okay. It sounds like they stopped. But yes, I'm gonna be doing 4 more stickers, and it is going to be my boas. I am still designing out some of my new lizards and some of my new frogs, so that is why I'm gonna just do a drop of some snakes, and it's gonna end up being some of my boas. And I think all of them look really nice. I know I end up saying that about all my stuff, and I don't mean it like, you know, kind of tooting my own horn or, you know, trying to be full of myself. But I just, when something ends up coming out the way that I wanted it to look, it is kind of like, oh man, that looks good. So I will, hopefully people agree, and people have been seeming to agree that some of my stickers are good with purchases, so I'm hoping that people agree with me on the boas. But that's enough from me for this video. If you liked it, please feel free to leave a like, leave a comment down in the comment section below. I asked you guys your opinions of the print that I made in this video, and I'm curious to see what you guys ended up thinking about it. Like I said, and as you know, I can't really see the comments real time unless I live stream, but I still would like to know your opinion, and if you want to continue on this journey with me, why not subscribe to the channel? That way you'll know whenever I put a new video out, or it will just come up in your feed and you can see it. But if you really want to know the moment that my video goes up, you can of course click the little bell icon to get notified when that happens. All of my links to everything will be down in the description below. My Etsy shop, my TikTok where I do packaging, and my Instagram where I'm trying to start doing more behind the scenes stuff, and then I also of course announce any of my new products on there as well. So that's, I think, everything that I wanted to say to you guys. Hopefully you guys tune back in to see how the boas come out, and I will see you in the next video.